Welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome. Let's talk today about what I would do as a feminine woman. So, last Sunday, I was telling you what I wouldn't do as a feminine woman. And today, I guess there is like a lot of confusion because we were brought up in a masculine society. A lot of people, a lot of women are acting masculine. They only know how to live in a masculine society. So I understand that. I understand the confusion. And therefore, let's today talk about what I would do as a feminine woman. What is natural to do for a feminine woman, and what you probably doing already if you have a lot of feminine energy within you. Now, how to know whether you have a lot of feminine energy within you? Look at your natal chart. If you have a lot of planets in Earth or water, it is a Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo, then you are born naturally feminine. If you have a lot of in others, then you're born naturally masculine. So if you were born naturally feminine, then the actions that I would tell you today will be probably natural to you because they go with your energy. Now, if they are not natural to you, then either you push your femininity very far to the back, or you just not you were just masculine, born masculine, or acting very masculine. So, anyways, but this is what I would do. And if you didn't watch the previous ones, please do watch it because. I did get quite a few questions about about some actions that I wouldn't do, and it seems like some people might not understand why I wouldn't do them, but I did explain them. So please do watch them. It's the previous one, and I will put it in the description of this one. All right, let me open my notes and we will start. So just like for wouldn't, I also have 11 would, and maybe you will add something of your own. I mean, there are ladies that are feminine that listen to me. Maybe you can add something as well. So what I would do as a feminine woman, so the first one, I would carry calmness within me. Now, why? Because femininity is about peace, calmness, acceptance. Masculinity is about aggression, actions. And you see, in our world, there is a lot of that, a lot of actions, a lot of aggression, a lot of kind of even in a good way aggression, a lot of kind of chaos, a lot of everything of this. So somebody has to carry the calmness. Somebody has to bring the calmness with them. Even if you are just with your friends, some of your friends will be maybe super active, super social, and one somebody has to kind of to has to calm everything down, without the actions, but with just the presence. If you notice when you are calm and poised and you just like within yourself, people tend to act like this too. I notice that sometimes I get into the like a group of people and they're all loud and obnoxious, and then I get in, I don't even say nothing, and they suddenly become a little quieter. So this is what I would do. This is what I encourage you to do, especially if you're constantly in a kind of in a crowd where it's very masculine. So maybe you're in a you work in a masculine kind of setting, or maybe you have a group of friends who are very masculine, or if even with your man, if you can bring the calmness, the acceptance, this kind of to your relationship. Now, this is what I would do. So now, bringing calmness is easy when you feel secure. It's never easy when you are not secure. So you need to feel secure within yourself, and then you can carry the calmness. When you are with the man, notice how you always, when you feel secure, you feel like you can do anything and you can be calm, but you're not. So security is crucial in this case. But if I'm secure and if I'm a feminine woman, then I will be carrying calmness with me. Why? Because it needs to be, the world needs to be neutralized. Can't be always aggressive, angry, constantly acting. Somebody has to bring something else to this world. Now, from this here, what I would also do as a feminine woman, I would ground. Now, I don't have much energy of earth, so my fellow feminine ladies who have a lot of energy of earth, they would be better in grounding. And if you notice, and I have a couple clients who are energy of earth, people tend to draw to them because they're so grounding, because they feel so safe and secure. Just by being there, you feel safe and secure with them. And masculinity obviously loves to be around this woman. Why? Because masculinity on its own, masculine energy is very very active. So they love to fly, they love to act, they love to dream. So they are not grounded at all, and it's good for masculinity, for masculine energy. That's obviously a must. But if you're constantly like this, at one point you need to ground yourself somehow, and they have difficulties grounding themselves. So having a woman who can ground them all the time is actually a benefit. And people are drawn to feminine men and women just so they can be somewhat grounded. If you don't know how to ground yourself, you will be also looking for people who can ground you. Like me, for example, when I first moved to here to Miami, my first friends that I met were people energy of earth. I didn't even know they were energy of earth. I just gravitate towards them for some reason. And I know what was that reason. I felt instantly secure and confident with them in the new surroundings that I had. I didn't know anybody yet. I didn't know, where I can buy anything, where should I go, what is the hot spots. But these ladies, they kind of made me feel secure, grounded, and I was able to explore with them, kind of backing me up. They were not doing nothing, but just being present in my life, they're already grounding me. So, but then after a while, I got a little, I wanted to fly again. So we distanced itself. So they still my friends, but not as much in my life as before. So you need to ground masculinity. You need to ground yourself, and you need to ground a masculinity. Now, how could that look with the masculine energy? Besides just being present in their life, you also need to ground their goals, ambitions, and ideas. So, for example, you have a man, energy of air, who is very much not in touch with the energy of earth, is not very grounded at all. So he has all these ideas, business ventures, kind of, let's travel there, let's go here, let's try this, let's try that. But you are with him in a relationship. So you want to have a family with him, you want to have kids with him, as good as that sounds, all that traveling, business and this and that, you still need to remember that you need to have some kind of savings. You need to make sure your kid has something to eat, and you obviously. So what you can do for your man, you can say, yes, that sounds all very amazing, but we're planning a family, so why not to put some on the side? Why not to open a savings account? Or if you already have kids, maybe open some 529, what is that, college plan for the kids, and just put the money aside for them. So this way, a man, he's grounded. You see, he knows he took care of his responsibility. Now he can do whatever else he wants to do in his life. So it's not like you are not allowing him to do what he wants, not allowing him to fly. You just grounding him for his own good. Then at the end of the day, he will know that he's a good kind of provider, that he provided for his family. You provided for his family, and now he provided for the family, and now he can do everything else. So like this, you helping him to develop as a provider, as the person who cares for the family. Anyways, grounding is important not only if you are having a family. Mostly you do that if you have a family with the man, like it was some kind of serious relationship. Why would you be grounding everybody else for no, like even if they don't ask you? People will tend to draw to you, but don't ground everybody. You don't need to. You are not responsible for everybody, but somebody who is in your life, grounding is good. And I do ground people as well, even though I don't have much energy first myself, but I do ground them. I do bring them kind of somewhat to reality. I inspire people, but I do ground them as well, because without grounding, all those ideas, all those dreams, all those actions are empty. You need to materialize them, so they would kind of they would become something in life. So again, as a feminine woman, I would ground myself, I would ground people around me, I would ground even the ideas around me. If I have an idea, instead of me thinking how great it would be to do to have that idea, to bring that idea to life, I would first ground it and realize, do I need that idea? What will it give me? How hard or how easy it would be to get to that. So again, everything needs grounding. Remember, we're living in the material world, so thoughts, actions, everything needs to be grounded. Just like your energy, your energetic body is grounded to your body, your physical body, everything else has to be grounded as well. And masculinity will not be able to ground it. So as a feminine woman, we're supposed to ground their ideas, their actions, and ourselves. And if you notice, if you do not ground your man, he becomes absolutely chaotic and somewhat even uncontrollable, not only for you, but for everybody else. So I would do that. I would ground, and I do ground. I ground my clients. I have clients who are very ambitious. They high fly and they fly high, and I'm all for that. Like I don't mind, but I also understand that energy could not be rising like this. It needs to raise slowly, and so you raising up, you ground, you raise up, you ground, you raise up, you ground. So and I always remind them about that. And I think some of them, I mean, most of them come for the inspiration and knowledge, and some come just for the grounding. So for somebody who can tell them, yes, you're doing good, yes, you're on the right path in life. So grounding is important, especially if you are with the man that you want to have relationship with, like serious. It's funny because some women look for that grounding in man instead of providing that grounding themselves. This is very funny because men can do actions, but they could not ground. So you need to ground. You know, he could not tell you how what's needed. You see, you need to tell him, and he will do the action. So, for example, you can tell him something like, I think it's time for us to kind of to get into something serious, and then he will do the action. He will buy the ring, he will propose. Or you can tell him, oh, I think, I think we're ready for to have a kid, and he's like, well, the child should be kind of more in the passion, but okay, let's imagine. And he will be doing the actions to get that kid. You see, you're the one who is given the vision and the grounding for that vision. Do not expect that from a man. I think a lot of relationships are failing because women are sitting there and expecting a man to come and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. We're going to live here. I'm going to give you money. I'm going to put your money on your account, this and this and this. A man does not think like this, especially a masculine man. He thinks in the bigger terms. He doesn't have time to ground every single little idea or every little emotion that you might have. So it's up to you. And do not expect it from a man. Okay, so the next one that I would do as a feminine woman, I would do the first step in anything. And you would tell me, Anastasia, how could you? Like, I will tell you why. Men, yeah, especially when it comes to men. So men are very physically much stronger than we are. Women are stronger than them energetically than men, or somebody who are masculine, right? So what would I do? I would. Um, I would. What I would do, I would basically. Uh, I wouldn't exactly do the actions, but I would allow masculinity to understand that I'm open to something. So, for example, I'm having dinner with friends, and I see maybe at the table there is a guy that I like, and he seems to be by himself, doesn't have a ring, so he's available. So, what I would do instead of me sitting there and pretending that I didn't notice him and I'm so busy and I'm so this and that, I would show him that I am interested. How? I'm not sure, it has to be natural. So maybe I would glance, maybe would smile, maybe something like that. So I would open the door for him to come in. I'm not going to go there and sit with him and chat and and kind of and push my phone number on him. I wouldn't. But I will open the door. Why? Because energetically I'm stronger than him. So he doesn't know whether he can approach me or not. And I wouldn't want maybe men who are like completely obnoxious and absolutely drunk to come and kind of and try to talk to me. But a man who is sensible, I would open the door for him like that. So I would do some kind of motion. There is even this dating site, not sure what it's called, but a woman there has to start the conversation first. So again, I wouldn't be writing a whole paragraph of I'm not sure what it's called, but there is one like that. I know because I was once on it and I spent like a week and I couldn't understand why nobody is writing me, and then I figured out that I have to write first. So but again, I wouldn't be writing a whole paragraph, my life story, but I would at least say hi. This way, I'm opening the door for him. Now, let me see what he's going to do. Now, if a man is going to reciprocate and be saying, hey, then I guess I won't be doing conversation because we could not be all, we could not act both feminine. I mean, somebody has to take charge. I open the door. Now, are you going to walk in through the door or we're going to look through, on different sides of the door? So this is what I would do as a feminine woman. Now, it's not only concerning men; it concerns everything really in life, everything. So Could be so vacation, for example. I do want to go on vacation. I would at least research the vacation. I would look at the country that I want to go. I would open the door for the opportunity to come into my life. You see, anything else? Maybe some kind of maybe I would start a new project again. It's not like I'm going to be sitting and waiting for somebody to come and do this project for me. I would at least research it. I would do so, opening the door for everything. All these women who like, oh, I don't chase, I attract. Yes, you do attract, but you need to open the door for that something to walk into the door. As a feminine woman, I'm telling you, yes, but it just sitting and pretending that everybody should and everything should guess what you're wanting and what you're thinking, it's a little too hard. We kind of need to open it up a little bit. I need to open my aura for the opportunities to come in. And how I can do it with the relaxed kind of state, with excitement about that something, and with some kind of at least slight action when it comes to a person. Like the same, look, if I would be in the elevator and one of my neighbors would be there, if I would be just stuck in my phone, not even looking, not even greeting the person, how will the person think that I'm available for conversation? Now, if on the other hand I walk into the elevator, I'm like, hey, and so the person knows that I'm open to be to talk. So now if they want to talk to me, they can say something, and who knows, maybe there would be something more out of this conversation. Again, you need to open, and this is what I would do as a feminine woman. I would open myself to the opportunities. Now, when I'm not in the mood for the opportunities, then I close myself completely. I don't look around, I don't smile, I don't do nothing. Again, this is just up to you. But if I am interested in something, I wouldn't be sitting pretending like I used to when I was very, very young. I would go. I remember once in New York, I went to this bar, I ordered wine. I was just sitting over there, and even I wouldn't even talk even to the bartender. Like, I wanted somebody to come, and I'm not sure what to do, because I just wanted to be so independent. And so, but honestly, I was just scared. That's why I was acting so standoffish. But for the most part, I could have been friendly to people around me, and maybe there would be more results about that. And that's just what it is. So again, I would open the door for something that I like. As a feminine woman, I would do the first step. Again, it's not like, even in a conversation, I have this masculine man in my life. They're like my admirers, I would say. So I don't mind sometimes to send a picture. Like, if I'm outside and I see something cute, I take a picture, I send it to them. Now if they don't answer me ever, then maybe I shouldn't be sending, or maybe I will like confront them. But for the most part, they appreciate it, because they're busy. They're not feminine, they're not romantic, they don't know what to send. So they appreciate me doing this little step, and they always reward me with something. Maybe they send me flowers for my birthday, they send me, sometimes they order me like little presents or something. If I need something, I always can ask them. And but again, you would say, Anastasia, but you do the first action. But this action is not bad. I'm not doing it out of desperation, or because they are not doing nothing. I'm doing it because I know they will reciprocate even bigger. I only opening the door for the potential. And a masculine man will always appreciate that. Now, I wouldn't be hitting the same spot again and again. If I look at the guy, smile a couple times, and he's not doing nothing, I mean, that's it. It's not going any further. This is just, I can open the door, but I'm not going to be swinging it back and forth. Just come. This is that's not how it works, not the feminine way. Now, I would think, why I'm opening the door and he's not walking through the door? Then I would think maybe my energy is not as appealing, or maybe I'm not as relaxed, or maybe I'm not as comfortable. So he feels that kind of hostility and maybe uncomfortness that I project with myself. So then I would work on my energy. Again, this is also important. But I would do minimum actions, and that would help whoever I want to attract, whether it's somebody or something in my life. What else would I do as a feminine woman? I would expand myself, as every masculine person would do as well, but on my own terms and in my own pace. Now, why would I do that? Why? Because we're living in a masculine society, and a lot of people compare themselves all the time to others, to their friends, to their relatives. Look, I have masculine clients. I mean, this is sometimes it's hard to talk to them, because like a friend of mine got this for her birthday, and a friend of mine got this. They're constantly comparing, comparing and then comparing, and I love it for them because they get inspired. They get like in this competing mood, so they try to get more out of life. But it can be exhausting if you are a feminine woman. I develop in at my own pace. I do what I can, depending on where I am in life and when what I need right now for my own development. We'll all develop according to our higher self, to the goal that projected by our higher self. So why would I want what somebody else has? Why would I want what my neighbors have if my goal is completely different? So I develop at my own pace with my own kind of on my own time frame. I know people who develop very, very fast and they fall really far, then they develop again, fall again. It's like this, like their whole life is like this. And I'm not as resilient to develop fall like this. So I would rather develop little by little, and get to the top, maybe even before them. And I would inspire you to, again, I understand that we live in a masculine society, but you don't have to be masculine just because you live in this society. You can be feminine and be as successful as others. I even, the other day, not the other day, a couple of weeks ago, I was talking to this girl. So she's like an acquaintance of mine here in Miami too. And we're not like real friends, but we're seen in the same circles. And she's really cool. She ordered a couple candles from me. So it's like we used to work together. And every time I see her, she has a new business kind of, she's doing something else. She already been a real estate agent. She already was a healer. Don't know how you can become a healer without being with some kind without studying energy, without doing some kind of with energy, without even being a at least a practitioner or somebody. But anyway, she was that already. She was a feminine coach already. I think I inspired her on that, and she is doing so many things. So every time I see her now, I think she's selling insurances or something. So the last time I saw her, I'm like, I do. And she's like, you never buy nothing from me. I'm like, I would love to, but every time I'm ready to buy something, you already changed the career. Like the first time I was looking for the apartment, and I reached out to her, and she's like, "Oh, I'm not doing that no more." So what I want to say is that some people change so much and so fast. They develop like almost. Almost every 2 months they're changing something in their life. This is it's not really for feminine people, feminine women and men. They're changing slower, they change more, they change slower and more consistently, I would say, especially if you're energy of earth. Don't rush yourself. Your progress is slow, but it's consistent. It's like every step you take, you ground yourself. You take another step, ground yourself, like this. And there is beauty in that, because if you will be just moving, at one point you will slip right back to where you started. It's much better to take small steps and ground than to kind of play Russian roulette, run and fall, and like this. All right, so that's another one. Please do not compare yourself to others, because that doesn't really make sense, neither to you nor for them. It's just not right. Okay, so the next one is I would inspire people around me, and this is what I do for the most part. I mean, I'm pretty optimistic. I'm feminine, so I can inspire people around me. Does it backfire? Yeah, it does backfire, because if you feed masculine ego for too long, it can really get against you. So masculinity, especially if you inspire them too much, they start flying even higher. And this is when grounding is important. It's important to remind somebody that, hey, you know what, get back on the ground, because as much as I inspire you, I can take everything right back. And it backfired at me a few times in my life with people that were important. But they're back on the ground, thankfully. I never regretted inspiring anybody. I think it's amazing. Like, I don't do it for myself, I do it. And if I see potential in somebody, why wouldn't I inspire? Why wouldn't I tell them what their strong kind of like what are the strengths are? Why wouldn't I tell them what they would be good at? I mean, this is just it's normal. This is what femininity is for, to bring this kind of this beauty and strengths out in people. But as I said, be careful with that. Do not Do not overfeed somebody's ego just because. Definitely don't do it because you want to get something out, that won't work. So only, and remember, just because you're telling somebody that they're great at something doesn't mean that you wouldn't be any lesser, for yourself. I mean, it would. It's good for you. It's good for them. It's good for real, for everybody. But this is what I do most of my time. I mean, I think all my consultations are about that, about inspiring people and making them feeling feeling that feeling that they can do something. Like I had mentors who helped me. Well, I didn't really need an inspiration. I more needed security and believe that I can do something, so I'm grateful to them. But I understand that a lot of people need to believe that they can not only feel secure, but that they can do something, that they are powerful, that they have it in them. And yes, I had to. People become somewhat entitled. I had to cut cords with some, but as I said, I will never regret. I will never regret that I did. I even had a couple clients who became so entitled that they believe that they shouldn't even be paying me, and they obviously overcut very fast. So again, and I had men who I also made seriously feeling very entitled. Like really, I put them very high on the. I didn't lower myself on a pedestal. I just kept them on their pedestal, and they really, they start abusing somewhat my kindness, and obviously they went right back to where they came from, right off that pedestal. So again, you need to be strong. It's a strength to tell somebody that they're good and make sure that they don't abuse that. It's really strong. Like at first, I was not even good at telling people what they're good at. Then I started being good at saying that, but I was afraid to kind of to bring them back, to ground them to the reality. So I would just allow them to fly over there, and I was like, why would I even try to make them feel that good? But now I can do both. I can inspire, I can bring you back right away. So do not do not abuse my kindness. But femininity is designed to inspire. So masculinity is designed to care, femininity to inspire. If you have that power, if you can tell somebody, yes, you can do that, do it. Yes, you have this kind of, look at the natal chart and you can tell a person, you know what, you would be good with that. Do it, safe. I mean, why not? We don't have that much of with this in our life, and it would be good to kind of um, to give it to people. All right. So now, what else? The next one. Um, I would want things and experiences, and I would not be ashamed for wanting something. I would want even more. Like these days, I'm pushing myself to want more because right now I'm in a different mode, and I understand that I need to exercise this muscle of wanting something else. So I even sometimes just go to Bell Harbor shops, just walk around, see what's there. Window shopping, like look through stuff, or I even go to the plazas right here on Sunny Isles and just look. It's like a auto show every single day. So many fancy cars, and I just walk around to kind of to push myself to want things. And why is it important? Because when you want things and experiences, you motivate your own masculinity and masculinity around you to do better and to give you more. You see, I was traveling, and in some countries that are not very wealthy, I noticed one tendency. Women there, they're like almost ashamed to ask and to want. And men, and because they're like this, the masculinity doesn't do nothing. Masculinity is basically given up. Very kind of desperate. Like almost defeated. And I didn't like that. I didn't like it at all because you are like in the middle of Europe. You can make money. It's not hard. But again, why would they do something if the femininity is not asking for nothing? So wanting, experiencing, wanting things is important to even push your own masculinity for more. Every time I go and I walk around in those in Bell Harbor shops or somewhere, well, shopping is not really doesn't really doesn't really push me that much. But on my Instagram, is I have a lot of different resorts, so I look through them. I look at the pictures. I'm like, would be nice to stay in this resort, and then I look at the price. I'm like, okay, need to do something about it. And my masculinity kind of wakes up and start thinking about how we can get that. So again, wanting and not demanding, but wanting certain experiences, dreaming about certain, having the list of what you want, your wish list, pushes the masculinity around you to be more proactive, more productive, and willing to kind of to do more. Doesn't keeps your masculinity active, not lazy. Not again, it's not only your own masculinity, it's also man around you. The more you want, the more they will want to do something for you. And again, from my previous career, I was I had the very wealthy man as my clients. I was working with men who were very successful. The most successful man that I worked with and that I had as clients were men who had women who were very demanding, who had a lot of desires, who were very expensive, I would say, who had really, who lived a very high lifestyle, and man in their life will have to provide. Otherwise, who is going to provide for them? So this was motivated. Their wants and needs were motivated their man to do better, and not once a man would ever complain about that. I mean, they always were kind of, I think, secretly loving that their man, that their woman were like this. So do not be ashamed if you want something. Do not be embarrassed. Remember, this is what keeps your city, your country, the man around you profitable, successful. So don't be embarrassed for this. I mean, if a man will tell you, "Oh, you want too much," then this is just not a man for you, and you technically don't believe yourself that you deserve it. Don't be embarrassed for that. Honestly, I don't know. There haven't been a man in my life for a long time who would say you want too much. Maybe he can say, "Yeah, that's really good," not right now, but never reproach me on anything. Okay, so the next one is I would, as a feminine woman, I would trust. And I would start with trusting myself, trusting the universe, trusting the energy around me, and trusting the masculinity around me. Now, why would I trust instead of taking control? Because for the feminine woman, trusting is easier than controlling. Now, masculinity does control. Femininity should be in trust. You see, I don't have the physical capacity to control everything and everybody around me. I will go crazy. I would, I would kill my health on cortisol and this adrenaline for no reason. So I do trust. I do trust that I make right decisions. I do trust that it will work out in my favor. I do trust that will be perfect. It's much easier for me, and I know it's not the easiest thing for people to just start out of nowhere trusting, especially when they are not 15 or 16. When they've been living and been disappointed many times. Trusting is not easy, but it's easier than controlling, and it's much easier for your feminine energy. Start with trusting yourself. This is like I would say, not the easiest, but at least you can control. So if you how could you start with that? You can, for example, tell, okay, so tomorrow I'm drinking only water. I'm not drinking coffee. I'm not drinking tea. Only water. And next day, you basically, you tell yourself, I don't want to drink coffee. I don't want to drink tea. All I want is just water. And the whole day you drink water. Now you can trust yourself. You see, you proved it for yourself that you can do something that you did. So, anyways, the trust builds like this. It starts from childhood, but if the trust was not installed in you when you were a child, when your parents were not trustworthy, then start yourself and start with yourself that you can trust yourself. You can trust masculinity inside of you to protect you, to secure you. You can trust the energy around you, that it will all turn out into your favor. You can trust the man around you and everything else. Try it and let me know. Trusting is much easier than controlling. It's not easy to start. It's not easy habit to get, but once you will get it, you will see how much easier it is to trust and to control. you know when I remember when I dated and I didn't have trust, and I tried to control a man, and I tried kind of to watch what is he doing, who is he talking to, who is he texting, what is who is he spending his days with, where is he all the time. It was exhausting, honestly. By the end of the day, I already didn't want to have a relationship because it was like a 24/7 work. He's talking to me on the phone. Are there other people? Where is he? Is he at home? Is he at work? Like, oh my God, it was really, really crazy. Then I started trusting little by little, and I was afraid. What if I will trust and he will break my trust and he will leave me? And you know what? At one point, I was like, okay, let him leave. Maybe it would be for the better because this is just not working. If he will leave, I will find somebody else who will be smitten by me, and who will just be a happy couple for half a year until he will get used to me, and then I will have a kind of trust issues again. So, anyways, I have an I have like if you really have trust issues, I have a video on it. I will put it in the description of this one. But as a feminine woman, you should trust. You're energetically strong inside. Don't you believe that your energy will draw everything good into your life? Don't you believe in that? Like, why would you not believe your own energy that you have, that you created within yourself? So again, as a feminine woman, I would trust because controlling is just not my forte. I mean, I will go crazy. It just doesn't work for me. I'm energy of water, so I could be led to such such crazy depths of mistrust that it's not even working. So again, do trust. It's much easier than controlling. All right, so the next one is I would enjoy and be grateful in life. Now, if you notice, masculinity is not very much about enjoyment. They're about actions, about they always have something on their mind. They're super chaotic. I hardly ever saw a masculine person in my life who would be like sitting on the beach and like, oh my God, look how beautiful it is. They're always thinking about something, always acting, always either on the phone or something. So never ever. So somebody has to bring the beauty outside. Somebody has to point it out, and that's usually me as a feminine woman or somebody else who is feminine. So what do? I do focus on gratitudes. I do focus on beauty. Like for example, if I'm going to a restaurant with the man and he's super masculine and he doesn't see nothing around him but he's just, I would point out, I'm like, my God, what a beautiful place, look how amazing, it's such a good thing that we came here. Or I would compliment the food if the food is good or something. So I would obviously bring this out. So femininity brings the enjoyment. Second, the energy center is dominant in feminine woman. So, and second energy center is pleasure. Who is going to bring the pleasure in life if not the feminine woman? This is up to us, and I'm all for it. Again, if you're the same with children, if you have children, I mean, who will teach your children to enjoy life, to see the beauty in life, to be grateful for what the life has? That won't be your man. I mean, unless he's feminine, he will teach them how to survive, how to be active, how to get what they want to get. But somebody has to show them the beauty in life, how the life is. That there is something to admire. That you don't just achieve something. You need to be happy with what you achieved, not because you achieved it, but because it's now yours. When you buy a new car and you just take it for granted, okay, I bought it now, I'm just using it. I mean, wouldn't it be better to kind of to enjoy that car, to enjoy the purchase that you made, to enjoy that to enjoy the craftsmanship on the car and the way it runs. So again, this is what I would do as a feminine woman, and I do it often with a lot of people, not necessarily with men, but with a lot of people. I always point out if I'm with somebody with something good, like the weather is good, or it's really nice. Right now the weather is perfect because it's a little windy, but for the most part, I mean, it's warm, but it's not as hot already as it was in summer, so it's beautiful. Or if we're going somewhere, I'm definitely pointing out and things. And inside myself, I'm always very grateful for things I do. If it's hard for you to be grateful, I mean, write the gratitude journal or something. But somebody has to do it, and masculinity will not do it. If you want to be feminine woman, you need to bring this. This is like a key femininity. You need to bring pleasure outside into the society, into the kind of into the world around you. So if you work and make sure at work you bring in this pleasure out. If you're with man, you bring in the pleasure out, different kind of pleasures, but still. If you are with your friends, make sure that there is no, like, even if you guys have political conversation, in between the political conversation, sneak in something good, just to neutralize it, just so there will be polarity, masculinity and femininity together. Again, but do not expect it from your man. Do not expect him, like sometimes a woman is all dressed up and looking so good, and she's expecting a man to compliment it, but this is not really a man's job. What you can say, what do you think, do I look good? I think I am. And he'll be like, yeah, I think you look amazing, you know. You are the one who is bringing the beauty outside, and he will the one who will confirm it for you. But do not expect it from a man. A man will be, if he's trained well, I mean, he will be like, yeah, you look good. No, he will be like, oh my god, you look good, whether you look good or not look good. He will be just saying this. But you don't need to wait for that. You can just say that, oh my god, I love this dress, I think it looks amazing on me, what do you think? And he'll be like, yeah, you know, he will look at you through your eyes. So again, bring the pleasure, bring the excitement, bring the gratitude in life, especially in our masculine society when everybody is focusing on something that is not good. You know, I scroll through TikTok sometimes. I mean, what are people focusing on? What is crazy, I swear. But on the other hand, sometimes I'm getting into this um, some cute videos about the nature, about the animals. Maybe little kids don't come out on my for you page, but sometimes I see this beautiful and I'm like, well, at least somebody's bringing something good in life. I mean, there's just all the drama. I mean, most people love drama, but look, this is not what we're living for. We should not be living for drama. Anyways, um, uh, also make sure that you are not only bringing the excitement and joy in life. Make sure that you do enjoy life. As a feminine woman, you should. Like for example, if your man is doing something for you and you're not showing any kind of enjoyment of that, he will cease to do that. I don't say that you need to be like overly grateful, but you do need to be somewhat like show that you are enjoying it. If you are not enjoying it, then tell him, he will fix it. But as long as you do enjoy whatever that you're doing. Okay, so the next one is I would what would I do as a feminine woman? I would influence others in my favor. Hmm. Now that sounds like serious manipulation. Well, look, it might be a little manipulative. I would agree with that. But on the other hand, I have no physical strength that much to force people to do what I want them to first. And I don't have a desire to argue. So what could I do? I can only do what I'm strong at with my energy. So I would influence people into my favor. And how would I do this? I would work energetically to ensure that I'm accepted, that I'm counted for, that I'm maybe loved, or whatever else it is. Now, how would I do that? You would say. I would do it through meditations. I would do my meditations that I have on YouTube. You can do that too, to increase pleasure in me, so people will be drawn to me. I would also work on self love. Why? Because the person who is loved by self will be loved by others. So I would also work on my security and inner masculinity to provide this kind of strength so people can feel it. I don't even have to show it, they will feel it. And basically, I would work overall on the energy. Now, how would I draw people in? I wouldn't even draw them in. I would basically just close the gap between us, and then I would create the energetic kind of bond between us, especially if it's somebody who I know, to the level that they would want to be pleasant to me, so to say. And it's not that hard to do, especially. So let's imagine I have a friend and I haven't been in touch with that friend for some time, and now I want her to reach out to me or him. So what would I do? I would remember that friend, and I would kind of imagine this, like I would feel this love, and then I would push the energy out towards that friend of mine, and I would kind of observe how the phantom of the friend would react to that energy, how she would be like, oh, he like, oh, feeling so great about me, and watch it a couple days, and then he would call again. I wouldn't do it even for too long, maybe 10 minutes a day if I need to. Usually I will just call or something, but I would do this. I would do these manipulations when I need to, with my energy. As a feminine woman, you have very strong energy inside. Use it. I mean, you're given it for a reason. Use it, and don't feel sorry for it. So energy is very powerful, and you can do it. You can do it with anything. It doesn't have to be with people. It could be with success, with money, with anything, as long as you are comfortable with that. All right, so I would do that. Then what I would do, I would, talking from this, I would send love out. Now, so how would you what would you send love out? Like, look, well, again, we live in a masculine society. There's a lot of kind of different escalations. There is a lot of like there's disagreements, some kind of even wars, whatever there is over there, so what you can do as a feminine woman, I mean, obviously, maybe when you're feeling really great, maybe you can send some good energy towards those causes that you're interested in, towards that government that you maybe not agree with, or towards that the disagreement that the countries have. Again, not to overexhaust yourself, obviously, but if you will spend 5 minutes sending good energy towards, I don't know, what what is that? Towards some kind of conflict somewhere, like U.S. and Venezuela now, whatever they're doing over there. So maybe to heal it. You see, femininity is about the healing any kind of aggression that is around. So as a feminine woman, I would do that. Now I'm not going to just overexhaust myself and sit all day and send this energy. You see, like it would help more than all those protests that come outside and you just walk around with the look. This it's very masculine, it will not do nothing. I mean, it just the dog that barks doesn't bite. So what's the point? Anyways, but this is what I would do if there is something that I disagree, that I don't like, that I feel like need some kind of healing. I would do that. I would send the energy towards that. Obviously, not on everything, because there are some causes that I frankly do not know much about, or I would even say don't care about, or like why would I? But something that really touches me, like Russia Ukraine conflict right now, since I'm half Russian, half Ukrainian, it kind of touches me. Then I do send energy towards that. I do want it to be kind of, dissolved somewhat in the future, in the close future. Again, but not to overexhaust stuff. I don't do it every day. I do it rarely. When I'm really good and I have extra energy, why not to share it for a good cause? So this is what I would do as a feminine woman. And if you will think, oh well, nobody will appreciate it. Okay, you know what? I don't do it to be appreciated. I do it. Some people send money. I send energy. I don't even do it to validate myself. I just do it because I live on this planet. I live in this. So I just do it. It's like if I see a plastic bottle on the beach, I mean, I will pick it up. It's not mine. I mean, obviously, I don't wait for validation, but it's my beach. Like I swim here. Why would I want to swim in a trash can? So this is what I would do. And you never know. You might be appreciated, but differently. Like I knew this guy. He was super wealthy. Yeah, he was my admirer, very wealthy, and he used to. This was so funny, but he was donating money to a monastery in his country. And I'm like, why monastery? The guy was not religious. He had always this. He was, he had his bad habits. Like I think every person. And so one time I'm like, okay, this is very strange. You donating money to the monastery. Why? And he told me his story. So when he was a teenager, I think he was starting to be a priest or something like that. So something, I don't know what it is. And he has this idea that the monks or whoever, like people in the monastery, they pray for the humanity, for the whole country, for everybody. And he's like, well, if they're praying, I mean, all we can do, they're praying for us. What we can do, we can just donate. So I thought that he was donating because they were praying for him. And he's like, no, nobody knows who donates. Yeah, I'm doing this anonymously, so they wouldn't be like singling me out. I just want to say thank you for them to, uh, adding this kind of peace and good energy towards the world. You see, so you never know. I mean, you never know. Maybe somebody will somehow appreciate your efforts, and you will get something back. So, anyways, but this is what I would do. I would send love, send this good energy towards something that is escalated, towards something that seems like could not be solved. But again, not to overexhaust myself, and not if I expect any kind of return or validation, I wouldn't do that. Okay, so the next one, I promise two more. That's it. I would learn how to receive from the world. Maybe I should have said this when I was talking about the wants and experiences. But I would learn how to receive from the world, from the man, from everything around me. Now, I don't know how about you, but I at least will program to be modest. When somebody's giving you something, you're like, no, no, I don't, no, thank you, no. And then if you will accept it, you should reciprocate and give something back. It was, I mean, my grandma, she was teaching me some crazy. My parents were not like this, but she would always um, like if my aunt would bring me some presents, she was like a few months after, we used to write letters, like this with my hand and send them. And I used to love writing letters. And so every time I would write a letter to my aunt, she would say, don't forget to say thank you for what she brought you in summer. But I'm writing her letters every single month. I mean, I could not be over grateful. I mean, it was crazy and I couldn't understand this. But you see, it was installed in me. So anyways, but you don't need to be like that. Definitely not. I mean, my grandma was projecting something on me that wasn't her. It has nothing to do with me. So, but what you need to do, you need to learn how to receive. Now, why? Because if you will not be able to receive, or if you will be like, oh no, no, I don't need nothing, you will be cutting your man's resources, and who knows, maybe he will start having expenses. If he has a huge aura, but you are not wanting anything in your life, if you don't know how to accept, if you are awkward with receiving something, he would need to spend that money somewhere. Where is he going to spend? Either on somebody else. Good thing if it would be family, or some friends, or who knows, it might be another woman, or it could get some kind of problems. Maybe he would start having issues with his business or something, and he would be wasting money there because you didn't learn how to receive. So if the feminine woman, I would learn that firsthand, because femininity again is not strong outside, strong inside. So everything comes to you, and if you don't know how to receive it, you would be just sabotaging yourself and pushing back. Do you want that, to push back something that was given to you? Maybe for that good energy and love that you're sending to somebody else in the world. So this is important. Do work on that. I have the video, the art of acceptance. Maybe I'll put it in this one. Not maybe, I will. And do learn how to receive. You need to know how to receive. Otherwise, you will be masculine and you will have to give, or you will just basically be cutting off, sabotaging your resources that are coming to you. Never good. And I do not advise anybody. As a feminine woman, you should know how to receive. Any woman should know how to receive. But masculine women, at least they are self-focused, so they take. Feminine women could be very shy, they don't know how they receive, and that they will feel like, oh my god, I have to give something back, which is wrong. You don't have to give nothing back, only if you want to. And overall, you hurting the energy around you. Energy is very harmonious. Masculinity gives, femininity accepts. It's like it comes like in these waves. Now if masculinity gives you and you're like, no, don't give me, don't, and for pushing it forward, you messing up the flow of energy around you, and you don't want that to happen. So learn how to receive. It is important. As a feminine woman, you should know how to receive. You should know how to receive since childhood. When a girl is little and somebody gives her presents, and she's like, oh my god, thank you, she should know that she's such a princess and everybody wants to give her. This is normal. You see, if I was little and my grandma instead would tell me, look, you see, because you are such a good girl and such a beautiful girl, people are giving you presents. This is amazing, isn't it? I would grow up like this. Instead, I grew up thinking, should I say thank you again, or was 5 thank you enough, right? Yeah, this is how it is. So learn how to receive. If you don't know, I mean, I have a couple videos, I'll put them. Or just don't be awkward. Don't be over zealous in your gratitude, but also don't be awkward, and don't push things away. If it's something coming your way, then energetically you match it. If somebody is giving you a car, then energetically you match to get that present. Do not push it away. I mean, what kind of perverted thing is that? You match energetically, you got the car, and now you're like, no, you push an energy away from you. Doesn't make no sense, honestly. So learn how to do it. And as a feminine woman, I would do that. And look, I will tell you, I saw women who do not accept. It never ended well for them. So it's either their men start having problems, or I had it like a month ago. Just a month ago, I have this a friend of mine. He is a very successful man, but his wife is just so modest. I don't know what's the issue with her. It seems like They're so many years together. I mean, get used to being wealthy. No, she's just so, no, this is enough. I don't need much. She still dresses up in clothes that like Target. I don't know. Like, I don't know what's with her. So it seems like you have the opportunities. I mean, spend them. Spend money on charity and something. And basically, what happened? He There was some issue, and he had to have like a really expensive surgery, and then a really expensive recovery. So he spent like a good chunk of his cash, and I don't know. There was something with insurance. So anyway, but he did spend a lot on that. And again, if she would be only asking him for a car, maybe none of that would happen. Or maybe if she would ask for some money for something, I mean, maybe he wouldn't have to spend it elsewhere. So do want and do learn how to accept. And the last thing, at least for this list, is I would, as a feminine woman, I would neutralize the energy around me. Now, I would not be rushing to neutralize everybody. I mean, obviously not my business. But if, for example, well, this is not really a good example because all my neighbors here are very good, very peaceful, very calm. But I used to, in my other apartment where I used to live, I had a couple. They moved out very fast after I moved in, I guess, because I neutralized it so much. And so they used to fight. They were very passionate from Latin America. I think they were from Brazil because they spoke Portuguese. And they would fight all the time. They were very passionate in everything, in fights and not fights. So, and sometimes when I heard, the girl would cry, they would shout, and then she would cry, and what, I couldn't tolerate that. So I would neutralize that energy because we were neighbors. I could hear them from the wall behind me, and I would neutralize, and 2 months after they moved out. I didn't neutralize it for them to move out. I just wanted for them to find some kind of peace, but maybe peace was not for them. So I would not be walking around neutralizing everything. That's not really my business, and my energy is precious like that. I'm not going to be neutralizing everything I can. But if something concerns me, I would neutralize. For example, if I'm dating a man and he's coming and he's all frustrated because of his, let's imagine, his business or maybe his work or his business partner or something, I would take that energy and I would convert it into something good. I wouldn't. It is my kind of my duty, I would say, not even duty, but it's my task with a feminine woman to neutralize that energy that makes him so angry. I mean, obviously, if I care about him, now. Like with everything, do not overexhaust yourself and don't make it a habit. So don't tell him, oh, don't worry, I will neutralize it. Now, if you will keep saying this, he will be coming to you with every little thing. Now, how could you neutralize? You can neutralize through grounding and gratitude. So basically, just send good energy towards him, towards the situation. You see, when I was in a relationship with a man who had problems with his partner a long time ago, I wasn't smart enough. So I would get angry with him. I would get angry at that man, and I would send that angry energy out. And so he would have even more problems, and so it didn't finish well for anybody at that in that moment. But right now, uh, I'm smarter, kind of, I'm more knowledgeable. I'm a Reiki master, so I can do that. So what you do when somebody comes, and obviously you're not listening to everybody's whining. Don't allow people to kind of to get on your back like this. But if it's your man and he comes and he's like, you see he's edgy, he's not telling you nothing, but you see that something is off. So what you do, you relax yourself, you ground yourself first of all, because you need to keep yourself grounded to neutralize the energy. And then you just send this loving energy towards him. Whether you want it or not, you will take the energy that frustrates him towards you. What you need to do, you need to ground it too. You need to ground and transform. A woman is transforming everything. When a man gives you his sperm, you convert it into a child. If a man gives you some kind of frustration, you can convert it into calmness. He will be grateful. He will reward you for that. You will see. But you need to know when to do it and when kind of make sure you don't become a mother to somebody else. If you will tell, like even a couple of my clients, I was neutralizing them so much and sending them so much energy that every little thing they would always reach out to me. Every little thing, it's like they are not using their energy no more any longer. And so I stopped I stopped supporting them with energy. I mean, I still, because we're working together, I do support them, but I would not, uh, like every little thing, I would not be sending energy right away. I would not be neutralizing energy right away, because they need to learn how to do it on their own. I don't want to become a mom to anybody. I want to become an inspiration to people. So this is, but I would do that if it's within my power and within my kind of scope. If I'm with the man right now, it's better if I will take the energy and transform it than I will be sitting with the man who is absolutely frustrated and angry. Unless he's nobody to me, then I would just leave, and like, let's reconnect at another time. But if this person is important for me, or at least I'm kind of, at least I have good feelings toward that person, I would. I mean, it's not hard for me, honestly, to kind of to convert the energy into something. Remember, energy is neutral. There's no good or bad. It's like it's up to us what to make out of that energy. So if right now he's so angry that the energy is very heavy, very very difficult, I mean, it wouldn't take me long to convert it into something better. So this is what I would do. Again, make sure don't become a parent to everybody, because then people will be just coming to you. It's like that the thing, help somebody one time and they will remember about you next time they need help. Do not become that. That's not good. And as a Reiki master, obviously, I know this, and my masters used to tell me, do not. That's why I don't do healing, because I mean, I do healing if it needs to be, but for the most part, I don't do healing. Um, I don't I don't use it as my profession. I don't take money for it because of that. Because if you will heal somebody once, second, third time, that person will get so used to this that they will not do nothing for their health themselves. And it's not good. I mean, you need to teach a person how to take care of them. Even people who I do energy alignment for, I tell them what I do. I tell them what they need to do so the energy will stay where I make it for them. So because I want them to be dependent on themselves, not on me. Yes, I can do energy alarm for you. I can do it every single month. But at one point, when I decide not to do it, when I hit the lotto really big, when I'm maybe something, I don't know, maybe I'll do something else, then who is going to do energy alignments for you? Who is going to? So again, do not make people dependent on you like that. Make sure your man does not depend on you like that. It would be not a very good relationship if your relationship only built on your man depending on you neutralizing his energy, because every single little argument he will run to you like a little boy to a mom. Please do something with this energy. That's not good. Don't even tell him that you neutralize it. Neutralize it quietly, and he will appreciate. He will feel the energy. He will appreciate it. All right, that's it. Let me know if you have questions. I will sum it up really fast. So actions I would do as a feminine woman, and and that would be it. All right. So let's start from the first one. I would carry calmness with me. Femininity brings peace. Masculinity brings some kind of aggression, maybe actions, but femininity brings peace. And this is what I would do as a feminine woman. I would bring peace with me everywhere I go. Now, it's not very easy. You need to feel secure, but and security, you need to kind of raise in you, unless you're with the man. If you're with the man, definitely you need to feel secure, and you need to have peace around you. The second one is I would make sure ground people around me and myself, especially men. So if I'm with the man and I'm dating somebody, I'm dating him, or even I want to like I want something more in our relationship, then I would make sure to ground him. I'll make sure that what we're doing maybe needs to be brought to a new level. Like I remember I was dating this guy. He was very masculine, and everything was going amazing with him, like really good. And like he would come pick me up from work, and we would spend the whole afternoon together. Like everything was perfect. And then at one point, I understand that I want more. I'm ready for more. And I told him we need a place together. The guy got the place very fast together. So and then he like I would ground him. Everything is good. Let's ground this good. Everything is good. Let's ground it again. Like this. And especially if I have a family with the man, I would ground him all the time. I would make sure that he knows what security for me is, what I need to feel secure, what the like stuff like that. So, anyways, grounding is good for yourself and for others. it doesn't only need a man, it could be your own energy, your own progress. You get to particular progress, ground yourself. Like when I got to this particular, so I had a goal of how much I want to make a month. Once I got to that goal, I grounded that goal. Like I felt really good. I felt confident. I know that no matter what, I will make that much money a month all the time. I grounded that the accomplishment. Now I have a different goal that I'm reaching, and then I will ground that goal. So you need to ground everything, not only man in your life. But this is what I would do as a feminine woman. Again, femininity is not chaotic and it's not action oriented. It slowly raises itself up. Then what I would do, I would do the first step with everything, because women, especially feminine women, are strong energetically. So I would open the door to my aura for things that I want to come in, for people that I want in my space. And this is nothing wrong with that. Trust me, there is nothing wrong. Not one man ever told me, "Oh, you run after men." No, they always tell me, "It's so good that you smiled. Otherwise, I would never come to you." Like this. Like even there was a guy in my other building. We used to go to the gym together, and me in the gym, I put the headphones, I look at the screen, I'm always either watching something, listening one of my videos maybe, and I don't really look around. But at one point I stopped noticing this guy, so I smiled. Next time I came, I said hi, just a courtesy. And then we went to lunch a couple of times, and he's like, if you would never speak to me, I thought that you are not interested, so I would never approach you. You would think, oh, such a weak man. No, he's not. He's actually a very successful man. He just didn't want to kind of to abuse my privacy, so to say, because I could have complained. Anyways, but that's what it is. So I would do the first step, not only with men, with everything. Then what I would do, I would expand myself as a feminine woman. I would expand myself at my own pace, on my own terms. I would never compare myself to others. Like I would get inspired by others, but they would never compare, because we'll have our own goals, our own kind of processes. And I firmly believe, as a Reiki master, that energy has to raise slowly, like this. You raise and you ground, and you raise and you ground. And, if you will raise like this, you will slip and fall. Very, very rarely people raise and don't fall, at least to some point. And um, and I don't really want to fall. I would rather take process a little slower, but get myself in my own pace. So again, up to you. As a feminine woman, it would be much easier if you would take your process slower. All right, so the next one, I would inspire people. It could get backfired on you. But look, do not regret for inspiring people. Do not. It's just you're doing a good thing. It's good. Why not? Why not? If you have that power, why not to inspire people? I never regret. Maybe sometimes I regret that I didn't put the boundaries strong enough. But I never regretted like this guy. I used to tell him, um, "You are lucky. Like you're really lucky," and he got it into his head. I just forgot to tell that you're lucky while you're with me. So once I was out, all his luck went down the drain, and and this is what happened. And then he told me, he's like, "I think my luck was with you, not with. It's not just me lucky." And I told him maybe. Anyways, but if you can inspire people, inspire yourself too, definitely. And the next one is, I would want things and experiences, and I would not be ashamed from doing that, obviously, because that keeps masculinity kind of active on point. So it's good. I love that I live in United States and that I live in Miami. I love that, because of that, because people are maybe delusional, maybe not always authentic or sincere, but they do love and they do want things, and this is amazing. It inspires you kind of start believing that everything is possible. Even if you will never reach that point, you still kind of, you believe, you expand your masculinity to maybe new kind of grounds. And I like that. Not too many countries that I went to were like this. Not too many, especially in Europe. People are very grounded in Europe. Okay, so then what I would do, I would trust in myself, I would trust in the universe around me, I would trust in masculinity. Why? Because trusting is easier for feminine women than control. And I would enjoy, what else I would do? I would enjoy and I would be grateful. I would bring the pleasure outside. I would really, because somebody has to, masculinity will not do that, so why not? What else would I do? I would influence others in my favor, not only people but situations. So I would kind of, um, through energy work, I would influence the situations, the people. Sometimes we can't control everything, so it's better to adjust the energy so it will be solved in your favor. I would. What else I made here? I would send love out, like a good energy to the situations that I want to be fixed, the situations that are maybe heavy in the world. I would probably send it out. What else? I just make sure don't overexhaust yourself. You can't really fix everybody's problems. You just need to add a little bit of good energy. If everybody would send a little bit of good energy into the world would become a much better place. um, I would um, I would learn how to receive from the world because it's important. Wanting something and not knowing how to receive it will only sabotage. It's like you will be, I want this, but then the person gives you, you're like, no, like sabotage. And so it seems like you're receiving it, but it's almost, so it's giving you and almost like pulling it away because you're sabotaging it. So again, I learn how to receive. Receiving is important. And another one, I would neutralize the energy that doesn't suit me. So the energy with people who are around me. If somebody's frustrated, I would take it, I would ground it, I would convert it into calmness. Again, energy is not, there's no bad good energy. You can convert easily if you know how to manipulate it. So you can do that. Just don't tell people that you're doing this, because then people will be dependent on you. Then they will be coming to you with anything. Like, my finger hurts, could you do something for it? I mean, it's just abuse, abuse of power. So don't do that. And better don't even tell them that you're doing it for them. I mean, of course I understand that maybe sometimes you want their validation and you feel like you're doing and people don't appreciate. They do, they feel everything. If a man comes to you all frustrated and in half an hour he feels great in your company, who do you think he will go next time? Of course to you, because it's in his mind. He came to you all frustrated and he felt really great and he doesn't know why he felt great. So next time he will want to feel good. He will want to, you will appear in his mind right away. Okay, that's it. We're done for this video. If you have questions, ask, send them. Maybe you have something to add. Please do add. Obviously, there are a lot of the a lot of points that I could add. I could add if I would, as a feminine woman, I would make everything beautiful around me. So maybe surround myself with flowers. Well, but I already mentioned that so many times that I didn't even put here. But maybe you have some kind of points that would be relevant. If you want, put them there as well. All right. I think that's it. Thank you for being here. I will see you next Sunday. Let me just glance really fast at 11. Um, be be mindful of this week that is coming. It's interesting. Again, we still have a lot of energy of water and air on the sky, so you might feel a little shaky. Don't forget to ground yourself as a feminine woman would do. um, Masculinity feels very very strange right now, especially because Mars is in Scorpio. It's a strong position, but it's not always the easiest position. So Mercury is in Scorpio too. So a lot of the men are shaky as well. Ground yourself, ground your man, ground everything around you, and it will be soon. There will be more fire on the sky, so we'll feel a little better, a little more optimistic, I would say. Water is a very particular energy. You need to keep it clean to really enjoy. All right, that's it. Bye, TikTok. Thank you for being here with me. YouTube. Every day I put something on TikTok. If you want to listen to, please do. And I put on my Facebook group, I put announcements about live. So please add yourself there if you have questions. It's a closed channel, so we can The link is in the description of this video and every video, so you can ask me there, and maybe others could help you with their opinions. Let's make a big, beautiful community. And please do comment, like, send these videos to if you think that somebody will benefit from them. Again, I hope I made it clear on what the feminine woman should do and should not do, because it seems a confusion. But all these actions, if you're feminine, should come naturally to you. If they don't come natural to you, then either you're masculine or you trained yourself to be masculine. So again, this is just a pattern. It could change. Trust me. Even my masculine ladies, my masculine clients, they change to act feminine. So if they were able to do it, you could do it too. I'm sure of that. All right, that's it. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your Sunday, and I will see you next Sunday at 11 a.m. Bye, everybody.